We don't play the social game. We are social. Power 98.5.
Hi, this is Dan Aykroyd. He's progressive. He's beautiful. He's thoughtful. He's intelligent. He's powerful. He's positive. He is Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio.
You're listening to Power 98.5, powered by United Angels Dream, your #1 resource for public relations, entertainment, and multimedia. Contact them today at unitedangelsdream.com.
Prepare yourself.
Okay, let's go.
Empowering listeners from the US to the UK. Live on air with Stephen Cuoco.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining Mr. Cody Law and I today here on Power 98.5, live on air with Stephen Cuoco. Good afternoon, Cody.
How's it going, Stephen?
I've got no complaints. You're here with me on this awesome East Coast afternoon.
Awesome.
How's the weather where you are? I know you're in PA right now.
Yeah, I'm in Pittsburgh right now. It's 65 degrees. Beautiful out.
We've got that over here, and once this interview's done and I get a couple things completed, I'm looking forward to finally getting the opportunity to wash my car.
Oh, man. Sounds great.
So, I've got to start off by saying congratulations on your recent signing with Bellator. How have you been feeling about that?
I feel good. It's a really good opportunity for me. I've already got one fight in. We're looking to get another one in soon. So, it's just we're getting the ball rolling. I'm very happy with it.
Your background originally, or career field, was wrestling.
Right.
What changed between wrestling and what was the pivotal point that led to Bellator?
Well, I mean, wrestling doesn't have as much of an outlet post-college as fighting does. I always wanted to fight too, so it was kind of just a no-brainer. Like, you finish college, for me, the only really direction to go after you finish college wrestling is to go on to world championships and Olympics and stuff like that. And I just wanted to get right into fighting, so jumped right into fighting. And then after 2 years of training MMA, since I graduated college, we signed with Bellator, and now we're here.
You're in a featherweight division?
Yeah, 145. You
have one win under your belt.
Yep.
You made a reference that, and I don't want to paraphrase here. In one of your recent interviews, you said that your first fight felt like it was practice.
Yeah.
It was that effortless for you.
Yeah, I just think everything went right. I didn't have any nerves. The weight cut went really well. There's no fans, so it literally did feel like practice. In practice and sparring, there's a little bit of background noise, some other people in the gym and stuff, but it's, for the most part, you hear your feet stomping on the canvas, you hear the shots landing, you hear your coaches, and that was the same way it felt in the Bellator cage last Thursday night. Same situation, pretty quiet. You can hear the coaches, you hear the feet moving around, and so it was just like practice for me, just like another sparring session.
Do fans really make a difference for you specifically when it comes to your performance and delivery?
No. I think there's a different energy when there's fans. I have not fought in front of a huge crowd yet, but I fought in front of some small crowds when I was an amateur, and no, I don't really pay attention to that stuff. I think if anything, it would affect me after the fight, after the win. You know what I mean? As soon as you finish the guy, maybe a little bit more pumped up, the crowd's cheering. You see your family, your people. But performance-wise, it doesn't make a difference.
So you're 145. I take it that that's not going to always be the weight that you're going to stay at. You plan on going to a higher weight, correct?
Yeah, over time. I think I'm only 25 years old. As I grow and get bigger, I think I'll go up to 155 in the future. But right now, 145 is not hard, so it makes more sense to stay at 145 while I'm young and it's easy.
I'm going to tell you, photos are deceiving. I would not have thought you were 145 and 5'8". In your photos, you look like you're about 6 foot, 6'1", about 175.
That's good. Or maybe not. Maybe not.
Oh, would you still fight if you were about 6 foot, 6'1", and 175?
100%. I would fight no matter what. I always want to fight. I love fighting.
I want to give a shout out to your mom, Crystal, and I'm going to say she has got to be one of the most incredible moms out there in the world, because you cannot miss her and the support and the support system that you have with your mom, Crystal.
Yeah, she's the best. I mean, she's been my number one fan since I was a kid. Since before I was anything, before I was athletic or could do anything. When I was just a clumsy little kid, not starting, playing pee wee football, she always had my back and she's always supported me. And now here we are. I'm making something of myself, and she's still number one. So it's good to have her. I love her.
You have any other siblings?
Yeah, I've got 2 brothers and a sister, all younger than me.
All younger than you?
I'm the oldest.
Wow.
Yep.
For your mom, or is she able to attend your matches? Is there going to be any limitations with any upcoming fights, or even with the one you just had?
Yeah, no, there's no fans allowed right now, so she's not able to come. She was at my other fights, but this last one she wasn't at, and I'm sure she won't be at the next one either, not until they allow fans, but hopefully soon.
When training, I love to go to this space with professionals like yourself. What fuels you and gives you that clarity that you need when training, when practicing, when lifting weights? What's that steady mindset that keeps you going?
I don't know. I think I'm just in a routine of self-motivation. There's not really anything that makes me go like, okay, you better show up to the gym today. Like, I just want to be at the gym. Like, this is where I want to be anyways. I would be doing it no matter what. So it's really easy for me to get there. I mean, being great motivates me and it makes me focus in practice. Financial security for me and for my family. I want to treat my family, my mom, my siblings, my aunts and uncles. I want to treat them to a life of financial freedom, down the line. So that makes me want to work really, really hard. So that I can get those world championships and those big paychecks and treat them to that kind of lifestyle. And then money aside, I want to be great. So greatness is a pretty motivating thing.
When it comes to your coaches, how confident are they? And have you sat down with them and discussed how soon championship would be on its horizon for you?
We haven't really talked about that. We're just taking it one fight at a time, and we're focused on improvement and progress. So in my head, I'm ready, of course. But we're just going to keep leveling up, each fight a little bit tougher, and keep training with world champions in the gym, keep testing myself, and what'll happen when it happens,
What's very impressive, especially during the climate of what we're all dealing with here in the world due to the pandemic, with your signing with Bellator, and I don't know much about the process when it comes to scouting, but from what I'm aware of is across the board in sports, whether you're already signed or not. How did this happen? Because there are so many restrictions and complications, especially when it comes to contract negotiations, that this was able to fall in such a way so late in a year during a pandemic for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know, I guess whatever you want to call it, the things they would be scouting were already done before the coronavirus. You know what I mean? My wrestling career and my amateur fighting career had already taken place. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like, there was no limitations really at all. And it was just a matter of, working out a deal, and my management reached out to them and we got a deal done, and now we're here, so the coronavirus didn't really impact it. The only thing the coronavirus pandemic impacted was that I didn't get more fights in this year, but maybe it was a good thing for me though, because had that not happened, I probably would have fought some professional fights earlier this year at regional promotions, and instead I was put on hold because of the coronavirus pandemic, and I ended up getting to make my pro debut on the big stage in Bellator, which was infinitely more exciting for me. So it worked out.
Your recent interview over at ATT, if you remember that was done back in October. You had some big interview going on. I was watching a video of you.
Let me see here. A couple.
Yeah, top ATT prospect Cody Law happy with pro debut with Bellator. It was just MMA. It was on MMA Junkie YouTube. That was a good interview. You handled yourself very well. I'm going to say for 25 years old, something happened unless you're just set in this. You know how to hold yourself. You don't appear prepped, coached. You just know how to go into it, to be very grounded, and to know how to hit those key points when questions are coming at you, but yet keep it very fluid, if that makes sense.
No, it's good. I mean, that's what I want. I'm not really focused on that or anything. Like I don't get worked up or start thinking about what I'm going to say or anything. I'm just being authentic. And I think that when I'm authentic, it takes care of itself. So, but it's good if people think that I'm doing a good job at it. That's good. Cause that's half the battle in sports and entertainment, right?
Absolutely. I mean, once again, you show up as yourself, you can't go wrong. And that's the number one thing that you would want in media. And for whatever it's worth, in your life, you're so seasoned. It's amazing that you're 25, because I'm going to tell you, you've got the mindset of someone that would be in their 30s.
I appreciate that. It's good to hear.
And you still look 25 even with the beard.
Yeah, good, man. Good. I'll be 25 for a while.
Yeah, you will be. What's personal life like, dating, and how do you find balance with family and dating and fun with the friends and going out and decompressing?
That's a tricky one, man. I don't know. I spend most of my time in Florida right now training, and when I'm in Florida, I have no social life. Like the extent of my social life is texting back and forth, maybe with my coaches about fights or hanging out with other teammates or something. But I don't go out in Florida or do anything like that. I'm pretty disciplined out there. And then every so often I get to come home. I'm home right now for 1 week. And so that 1 week that I'm home is where I get to have a social life, but it's hectic because there's so many people that I want to see. There's so many friends, my family, all that kind of stuff. And it's hard to squeeze it all in. Like I'm literally drive from one place, see one person, drive to the next place, see that person, schedule this, do that, trying to spend time with my family as well. I'm supposed to be resting, right? Because I just had a fight and I'm trying to fight again soon, but it's hard to rest because you're trying to fit everything in. So it's still something I'm trying to figure out. I'm kind of still new to this whole thing, but social life is, it is what it is. You have to make sacrifices if you want great things in life sometimes. So I'm sacrificing a little bit of social life right now for the future. I should have a pretty good one.
Do you feel that it becomes overwhelming at times, or you can feel a bit anxious, or do you make it a point to tell yourself, slow down, stop, pause, take a moment?
I just roll with it. Like things don't always work out. It could get overwhelming, I guess, if I was like super hung up on making everything happen, but things fall through, or this doesn't work, or I forget to do this or whatever. And it's just, okay, whatever, got to roll with it. If I get anxious about it, it's going to make things worse. So
the maturity is really impressive. Once again, shout out to Crystal. You raised a great kid.
She's the reason I am the way I am.
Well, I said kid, but let me correct that. Young man.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. 25.
Who would you like to give a shout out to?
I'm not so good with shout outs. There's too many people. There's too many great people. All the great people in my life. Shout out to all of them. Because there's too many for me to say.
Well, we got your mom, Crystal. How about your coach?
Yeah.
Any of your coaches?
All my coaches are the best. All my Pittsburgh coaches, my American Top Team coaches. I just got to see almost all my coaches here in Pittsburgh just in the last 24 hours. I was supposed to see my other one, Philip, and we had a little miscommunication. We were supposed to meet at a coffee shop, and he sent me the wrong one. There's two of them, and they're on opposite sides of the town, so we didn't make it work. But hopefully this week we still will before I head back.
Isn't that a bitch when that happens?
Yeah, it was rough. I'm driving around and I'm like, man, Philip, this doesn't look like the Strip at all. And I was like, I'm by Carnegie Mellon. He's like, oh my God, I sent you the wrong one. Shit.
Oh.
So it didn't happen.
You brought back memories when I lived in Vegas, because it's like when you make plans like that and end up on a wrong location. If you're not on the Strip, a lot of people don't realize Vegas is huge.
Yeah.
And you can be in Summerlin area when you really needed to be like on the opposite end of Vegas.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
To let everyone know who's tuning in and who will be listening to this next week, this episode, as well as you can catch this on Spotify and all other platforms. I want to give a super shout out and thanks to Cody Law, his mom Crystal, his coaches, and everyone. And this is an introductory interview of Cody Law. He's got a lot of great things that are on the horizon. I'm going to say he's a champion already. Got one great win under his belt. Signed with Bellator. He's going to have many other wins and championships that are out there. So with that being said, Cody, give some plugins. Where are you mostly out there online? And if someone were to want to connect with you or become a sponsor, where would that happen?
Yeah, Instagram I think is my best one. That's Cody Law MMA is my handle. And they have there's contact info linked to my Instagram.
For sponsorships or anything, I take it?
Yeah, reach out to me and or my management is First Round Management. Malky and Abe Kwai. They handle that as well for me.
First Round Management. Cody, stay on the line. Thank you very much for joining us today, live on air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5. And I have to say, this is Cody's first official radio interview.
That's right. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you.
You're very welcome. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Cody Law.
Friend us on your socials and let's connect.